Good evening. The flagship Academy Trust, Perry Beeches, once lauded by senior politicians, including David Cameron and Michael Gove, has had another of its schools rated as inadequate by inspectors. Midlands Today has seen a copy of an Ofsted report due out next week, which describes Perry Beeches Academy as having serious weaknesses. Another school in the chain was put in special measures in October 2015. And earlier this year, the Trust's superhead, Liam Nolan, resigned. Today, Elizabeth Glinker has been inside a school under extreme pressure.
Good afternoon, Mr. Cameron. Good afternoon, Mr. Gove.
The Perry Beeches Academy Trust launched in 2012 and had some friends in very high places.
That the best schools in Birmingham now are Perry Beeches 1 and Perry Beeches 2.
That was Michael Gove, the then Education Secretary, speaking at the Conservative Party conference in 2013. But 3 years later, Ofsted inspectors described Perry Beeches Academy as a school in sharp decline. It's a source of huge frustration to staff.
The school that I work in isn't inadequate. We got fantastic results last year, as we did the year before.
While praising the quality of teaching, inspectors who arrived in the second week of term said uncertainty over the school's future had been unsettling, leading to the departure of large numbers of staff.
It was like a cloud of negativity over us, and it felt really quite cruel because the staff here work incredibly hard.
That uncertainty dates back to March this year, when a government investigation revealed a series of problems in the way the Trust finances were being run under the leadership of Chief Executive and Superhead Liam Nolan. Mr. Nolan left his post in May this year amid a storm of media speculation. But pupils at Perry Beeches are bullish in their defence of the school.
It is slightly annoying because they don't really see what happens day to day. They've come in for like a few day periods and they don't know what goes on every single day.
If they say it's a bad school, it definitely isn't. That's what they see when they come for their few days. But we're here for the 5 years, and it's been a good school throughout the 5 years.
The leaked Ofsted report says that this once outstanding school is now in serious decline and is rated as inadequate. I've also seen an unreleased financial report which heaps further criticism on the way the school was run financially under Liam Nolan. The brand that was once so popular with politicians has been tarnished, and despite successful academic results, this trust faces being broken up. The man who stepped in to turn the trust around found some serious issues, including debts of over £2 million.
There was a lack of oversight, or at least where there was oversight from the trustees, their voices weren't getting heard in the way that they needed to.
Why do you think Liam Nolan wasn't challenged more?
I think he is a very strong personality, and you have to be to do a turnaround that he's done. But it does make it very difficult to challenge when you have schools that are the best in Birmingham and that are lauded as the best, to be able to say, actually, I don't think we're doing things quite right.
With an entirely new leadership team in place, Perry Beeches must now address the problems and maintain standards in the face of an uncertain future.
And Elizabeth joins me now. Elizabeth, this is a real fall from grace for a group of schools that was so celebrated by politicians, wasn't it? But does it have implications for other academies?
Well, yes, Mary, this is a big deal because the government has been really pushing schools to become academies since 2010, and they now account for 2/3 of our secondary schools and about 1 in 8 of our primaries. Many have been very, very successful, but there have been some real failures. And for a trust like Perry Beeches, which was so publicly praised, to now have 2 schools rated as inadequate, well, that could leave ministers with a red face.
I think whatever your opinion is of academies, it's a significant blow to the government's policy, and in some ways quite a big embarrassment for them, because they have pursued this policy of forced academisation, pushing all schools to convert to academy status. And when you have an incident like this happening, then it can't fail to raise questions, doubts, concerns about that policy itself.
Well, just to explain, Mary, academies are independent state schools. They receive their funding directly from central government rather than through a local authority. Now, that means that day to day, the head teachers have more power to change things. And like Perry Beeches, they're often part of a bigger chain or a group of schools, which is overseen by a charitable trust. Now, these are big businesses with big budgets. So questions about whether there's a lack of oversight and how public money is being spent are really very, very important. Now, we asked the Department for Education for a comment about the situation at Perry Beeches and the situation they now find themselves in. And the DFE said they wouldn't speak to us on this issue until the leaked Ofsted report, which we've seen, has been released to the public. Mary.
OK, Elizabeth Linker, thank you for that.